Hey, what's up, you guys? I'm June. This is JCS. Say hello.
JCS.
So what's up? Today we had group. Today we had class, which was basically therapy or group counseling, and we played a few games. We talked about peer pressure. Now, first things first. When you talk about peer pressure, the first thing a student like to say is that no, not me. I could never be peer pressured. What is that? I'm strong. I basically stand on my own too. So basically, have a seat. So basically, what we did today is we did two games. One game that proves to you that you actually can be peer pressured, and then another game that helps you to learn how to justify whenever you are pressured and you need to stand up firm and stand up for yourself, that you're able to give a good explanation and justify things. So the first game was where each student had to close their eyes. Now, the students that opened their eyes are the ones that actually were out the game. What I did is I was the anchorer, and I were to talk to them and to basically get them to open their eyes. I would say a lot of things like, oh my God, the house is on fire. Oh my God, Jazir spit on a couch and I'm going to have a heart attack. And I would just say certain things to get them to open their eyes. And actually, Andre, Jazir, and TT, all three of them opened their eyes, and the winners were the twins, Marley and Marlene. So basically, the three proved that, yes, indeed, they can be peer pressured. Why the two, they stood firm and stood strong their ground and were not able to be peer pressured. So that was the first part of the game. Now, the second part of the game was we had our captain, or we had our captain, which was TT, and then we had our two team leaders. And they basically, the leaders split up in teams. One of them took Andre and one of them took Jazir. And basically what they did was TT gave them a question. Now, I believe one of the questions she asked was, if you had a test at school, would you cheat on your test? And then the answer would be why not? Now, of course, both of the teams said no, they would not. Now, the way you answered why you wouldn't cheat was what actually gave you the win. So it's one thing to say, okay, I'm not going to cheat. But then your counterparts want to know, well, why? Why aren't you going to cheat? And that's when you're able to stand firm and strong, because if you know that you don't want to do something, but you don't really have an explanation on why, then you may not stand firm to your decision. So basically, it's best to really know exactly what you want so that you're able to stand firm. So each of them said no, they wasn't going to cheat. And the reason why they're not going to cheat is because, for one, it's dishonest. For two, you didn't earn the grade that you got. If you get an A and you go ahead and get it, it's whatever, but you didn't earn it. It was dishonest. It's going to weigh on your heart and your character. If you're asked to bring up that work again, you're not going to know what to do with that work, because you never studied, you never had that information to begin with. You basically cheated your way through. So the winner of that game was, which one of y'all won? It was one of the twins. Which one of y'all won that game?
Ja.
Okay. So those two won the game. They were able to get $1, and then the little one got 50 cents. So, cash prizes over here. That's how we give it up in JCS. So basically, JCS is not all about partying. It's not all about going on field trips. Sometimes we have to just sit and we have to counsel one another and learn. After we did the peer pressure, we went in a circle and we discussed each child's individual challenges, which I'm not going to discuss here because things that we talk about in therapy is confidential. But what we did do was, after we spoke about each child's specific challenge, then we set and pulled together strategy. Because one thing I remember is when I was a child and I was growing up and my grandmother would say, June, don't do this, don't do that. I would say, why? She said, because I said so. You know what that left? That left a child that was very curious. A child that got into a lot of mischief, because to tell me no with no explanation about nothing wasn't good for me, because I'm the type of person that needs to be in the know. So I looked and I found and I got into a lot of trouble. So basically what I want to do differently with JCS is I don't want to tell them things. I want to train them. I want to train them. I want to literally take them by their hand and walk them and show them. You know, I understand with age groups, it's not everything that a person could understand and handle, and that's the reason why we do this class at a certain level. But when the children came with their challenges, we offered selectively information. And I'm sorry, you know, group's almost over, so my son's a little hype right now. Forgive us. But we all gave basically we all gave an example of what you can do to make the situation better. Like, I'll give you an example, not to tell any of the children's personal stories, but let's say from myself, let's say the challenge is dealing with a person that has a distinctive personality, dealing with a person that has a negative personality. Now the question would be, how am I supposed to deal with that person? Now we go around in a group and we all speak and we all give an example. Like Nooch would say, well, you need to explain to this person how you're feeling. And then Jazier would probably say, okay, well, you need to not internalize the feeling so much. So those are different kind of ways that we help each other to move forward with our challenges. So we don't just say, oh, forget about it, it's a challenge, move on. We don't deal with it like that. We actually give you our ideas on how to handle it. And that's what we did today in group therapy. We've been able to break some barriers. I've learned some things about my students where they can improve and which I can be of help. And that's what JCS is all about. And I hope that one day you can join us, and I hope you enjoy learning about our class today. Have a good one. Peace.
Hi,